Bring your hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra and make your commitment to remove the shoulds, the oughts, the expectations, and really get into your intuition. We'll hone that, we'll sharpen it as we move through our practice. As you exhale, release your hands down to your legs or to your lap. And then as you inhale, sit a little taller, draw your shoulders back a little bit more, and then gently blink your eyes open. All right, friends, let's stretch out in Shavasana on our mats. Stretch your legs out, recline all the way onto your back. Oh, if you are following along with a playlist, whether it's the one I created for today, Virtual Yoga 6/23, or any music that you want, now would be the time to tap play or press play, however that works for you, and stretch out into Shavasana. Take a big inhale here through your nose. Long, slow exhale through your mouth. Let your back body root into the earth. So we'll begin the practice with a sense of steadiness. And then sweep your arms along the floor and take them up overhead. Stretch the arms overhead and reach the legs out long in the opposite direction. Still rooting down through the back body, but making your body really long here, stretching out through the fingers and through the toes. Take a big inhale here, and then as you exhale, fan your arms out along the floor again, this time all the way down to your hips. Once your hands get there, hug your knees into your chest and rock across your back. Connect into what you're feeling in your body as you weight one side of your back and unweight the other. Really bringing your mental energy into what your body is doing, connecting deeply here. Put the sole of your left foot on the mat. Hug that right knee in towards your shoulder. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, press your right heel up into the air so that right leg straightens. First option is to take your hands behind the right leg. Second option is to start working the legs a little bit higher, or you can put a strap around the arch of your foot. So we're going to take that right leg out to the right just a little bit, so at about a 45-degree angle. If you're comfortable here and you feel like you have the room for it, start to stretch the left leg straight as you stretch the back of the right leg. One more breath in here, and then as you exhale, bend your right knee and take the right knee over to the left in a twist. Stretch your right arm out to the right. Just a couple of breaths here to open up the muscles across the back body, across the front of the right shoulder, and across the right outer hip. On an inhale, bring your right knee back up and hug both knees into your chest again. Rock across your back just a couple of times, and then we'll move on to the second side. So put your right foot on the floor, hug that left knee in, and then start to straighten the left leg, pressing your left heel into the air, maybe interlacing your hands behind your thigh. If it feels right for you, use that inner knowing. Walk your hands up your leg a little bit. You can also use your strap around your foot. Then we're going to take the leg out to the left just a little bit, so at about a 45-degree angle. And if you've got the room for it, straighten out the right leg. Listening to your body is one way to sharpen that tool of intuition. On your next exhale, bend your left knee and take the left knee over to the right in a twist. Stretch your left arm back out to the left. A couple of breaths here in the twist. Next, inhale, bring your knee back up. And once again, hug both knees in, rock over your back. Put the soles of your feet down onto the mat. You're going to wedge your hands under your outer hips. So you don't want your hands covered all the way underneath your buttocks, but just palms down, hands underneath the outer hips for a little bit of support. Try to glue your low back down to the floor. We'll straighten the legs out to begin, and then try to glue the inner legs together. So that's inner thighs, inner ankles gluing together. Lift your legs up at about a 45-degree angle. Try to keep that low back on the floor. We're going to make figure eights with the legs. So it doesn't matter which direction you go in, because we're eventually going to go in both. Just try to make these figure eights, keeping the legs lifted off the ground. We've got one more in this direction, and then start to figure eight in the opposite direction. Try to keep the legs glued together. One more, 8 around, and then put the soles of your feet on the mat. Knees are bent. Take a little bridge pose. Again, a good opportunity here for you to hone that inner knowing, what is right for you, how deep to go into your bridge pose. It's early in the practice for back bends. We're just trying to open up the front of the body after that little bit of core work. On an exhale, lower your hips back down to the ground. Place your palms on the thighs. So right where the top of your thigh comes into your hip is where your palms go. So we're gonna slowly roll up to a seat here. It's gonna be easier to roll up if your feet are farther away from your hips, a little bit harder if they're in close. So take a breath in. As you exhale, roll your head up, slide your hands across your thighs and out past your knees as you bring yourself up to a seat. There, we did it. Keep your arms stretched out in front. Wiggle the soles of your feet together. So cobbler's pose, and then hands down to the ground or to your legs. Lift your chest up, and as you exhale, bow forward. This is a deep hip opener for this early in the practice. So again, an opportunity here for you to tap into what is right for you. Tap into that internal compass. Inhale, lift back up. Cross one foot in front of the other. It doesn't matter which one. We're going to try to stand up from here using that core strength that we just started to work on in those figure eights. So I like to use a little bit of momentum too. I take my arms out to the sides and sweep my arms forward to stand up. If you need your hands on the ground, put your hands on the ground. Big breath in, exhale. Bring yourself up to standing. Good job. Find your strap or whatever's going to work as a strap for you today. And we're going to hold the strap out in front of our legs and take your hands wide. Here in this shoulder opening, it's better to err on the side of wide hands than too narrow hands. As you inhale, take the strap up overhead, and as you exhale, take it back behind you. Widen the hands whenever you need to. Inhale up, exhale down in front. A couple more. Inhale up, exhale back behind. Inhale up, Exhale down. One more rotation around, inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, lower. Now you can bring your hands a little bit closer towards one another and take your arms back up overhead. So I'm going to get a little closer so you can really see here. So what we're going to try to do here is, instead of having the strap right overhead, you're going to try to take the arms back a little bit. So they're not going to go all the way back, just back a little bit. And then from here, you're going to bend, arc over to the right. So right hand pulls down. If you've taken your arms far enough back, that left arm might be behind your head, and you can press your head back into your arm a little bit, and then arc way over to the right. So try to dip that right hand a little bit closer to the floor. And then inhale, back up. All right, second side. First, shift the arms back a little bit. And then as you exhale, pull down with the left hand. Maybe that right arm is behind your head. If not, bring your head forward a little bit and then see if you can press your head back into your arm. And then right side body side stretch. Try to reach the left arm closer to the floor. And then inhale, back up. All right, let's release the strap. We might use it again later, but we'll just release it off to the side. Stand right up at the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart. On an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. On an exhale, fold down over your legs. We'll take a couple of breaths here. One type of pranayama or breath work that will help you connect your mind and your body, and therefore tap into your intuition through the practice, is Ujjayi breath. So gently toning in the throat so you hear your inhales and your exhales. Ujjayi, inhale, lengthen forward halfway. Ujjayi, exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Ujjayi, inhale to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Lift your chest up and forward. Really plant into the feet and into the legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward about 3 inches and take your feet as wide as your mat is. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, take your right hand to your left ankle. If you need to bring that left foot more forward, walk it more forward. And then as you exhale, twist. You're going to pull the right hand against the left leg a little bit to help you twist around. And then inhale, release. Right hand back up to the front of your mat. Second side, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, take your left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Grab on. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, pull yourself around in the twist. And then inhale, release. Hand back to the front of the mat. Walk your feet all the way up to the front. And inhale, rise up to stand. Take your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Flowing with your breath. Maybe Ujjayi if you can sustain that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, stretch the torso forward, reach the heart forward. Take your vinyasa now, stepping back to downward dog. Maybe you jump into chaturanga. Use your breath to guide you from pose to pose. Take your back bend, and then we'll all meet in downward dog together. On your inhale, right leg back and up behind you, stretch it high. Exhale, knee to nose. Pull it in. We're only doing this 3 times. On this side, stretch the leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch back. This time when you exhale, knee to nose, and then plant your right foot at the top of your mat. We're going to keep that back heel lifted here. Connect your right ribs to the top of your right thigh. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to straighten that right leg. Try to keep the ribs connected to the top of the thighs. You straighten and fold. Inhale, bend your knee, look forward. 2 more of those. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, bend the knee. 1 more. Exhale, straighten. And then inhale, bend. Sweep the arms forward and up. Come up to high crescent pose. Here, we're going to interlace the hands overhead. So I got a little closer so you can see. So the hands are doing this right over your head. And then take the arms back just a little bit. And then as you exhale, start to dip that left elbow towards the floor. Maybe the right arm is behind your head. Maybe you need to bring your head forward a little bit and press it back into the arm. And then you're really arcing over to the side, dipping that left elbow down towards the floor. You got it. You know how to do it. And then as you inhale, lift back up, arms up overhead, release the clasp. Sweep your arms out to the sides and down, interlace your hands behind your back, draw the shoulders back, and then start to lift your hands away from your back. Let your chest really reach forward. Take a breath in, warrior 3 variation. So you're gonna come forward onto your right leg, lifting the left leg behind, and lifting the clasped hands straight up to the sky above you. Take a breath in here and then slowly step your left foot to the back of the mat and then straighten your front leg. So we want to have pyramid pose legs here. Stance is a little bit shorter than it would be for high crescent pose. Front leg is straight. Keep those hands interlaced behind for now. Pull the belly in, slide the hands down the hips, maybe to the inseam of the left leg. Lift the chest up and a little back bend here, opening up across the chest, across the throat. And then inhale, come back up, bend into your front knee, warrior 1. Stretch those arms up overhead, and then maybe you can take the arms back a little bit more as you lift the chest up. 1 more breath here. Exhale, hands to your heart. Twist to the right. Bring your left arm across. Point your right elbow towards the ceiling. Twisting, rotating through the spine. And then inhale, release. Hands down to the mat. 1 leg dog with your right leg back and up behind you. 1 leg vinyasa is an option for you here. You can do the 2-leg vinyasa, or hold your downward dog, or child's pose. And then we'll all get back to downward dog together. Second side, inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Lift your leg high, exhale, knee to nose. Hug in, hug the belly in. Inhale, back and up. 3 of these all together. Here's the second one, knee to nose. On the third one, hug your knee in and then plant your foot at the top of your mat. Hands on either side of the front leg. Connect your left ribs to your left thigh. Take a breath in. On your exhale, straighten the left leg. Try to keep the ribs connected. Inhale, bend the knee. Look forward. 2 more of those. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. 1 more. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Rise up to high crescent pose, arms reaching up overhead. Here we're going to bend the elbows, hook the hands together. Try to hook the hands in the opposite way as you did before. Walk the arms back just a little bit. And then on an exhale, dip your right elbow down towards the floor. That left arm should be behind the head or in that general place. Maybe you bring your head a little bit forward and then push it back into the arms. And then we'll deepen the stretch along the left side body. Dip that right elbow down towards the floor. And then inhale back up. both arms up overhead, unclasp, sweep the arms out behind you, interlace the hands behind, put the other thumb on top. If you don't remember, just change your clasp. Walk the shoulders back, breath in here, warrior three, lift your arms away from your back, and now warrior three variation. Come stand onto your left leg, reach the right leg back behind, reach the knuckles up towards the ceiling, using your core to help you hold the balance. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, step back into a pyramid pose stance, so it's a little bit short. Straighten the front leg, hands come to your low back, and then slide them down the hips, maybe down the inseam of the right pant leg. Lift your chest up, open your throat. Inhale, back up. Unlace your fingers, warrior one. Bend the front knee. Take those arms up overhead to begin, and then see if you can take them back and open up the chest a little bit more. One breath in here. Exhale, hands to your heart. And now we twist to the left. Right arm comes across to the outside of the left leg. Point the left elbow towards the ceiling. Rotate. Keep your mind connected to what you feel in your body. And then inhale, release. Hands to the mat. One leg dog. Left leg lifts back and up. One leg flow is an option. If you took it on the first side, you should take it on the second side. But again, we're using that intuition, trying to get away from what other people tell us we should do, we ought to do. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. Stand and forward bend. Inhale, rise up, sweep the arms out, touch the palms overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Utkatasana, chair pose, lower your hips down, lift your arms up. See if you can slide those arms back a little bit more. Exhale, forward bend, hands to the mat, straighten the legs. Inhale, lengthen out. On your exhale, take your vinyasa, stepping back or jumping back. Using your breath to guide you through the postures. Connecting breath, body, mind, heart. Honing your intuition. From downward dog, inhale, right leg back and up behind you. This time, bend your knee and twist open. Take your right foot over to the left. Inhale, stretch the leg back. Exhale, use your core to lunge your foot to the front of your mat. Come up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach forward through the right arm, staying long in the right side body, and then bring your fingertips down to the floor or to your prop. Left fingers overhead to begin. Take a couple of breaths here in triangle. And then as you're ready, we're going to bring that left bicep by the left ear, left palm facing down. So the left fingers are reaching to the wall above your head. And then use an inhale, lift yourself back up. We're going to take both arms up overhead here. Left arm will grab the right wrist. Stretch up through the right arm, and as you exhale, reverse triangle pose. Variation. And then inhale, lift back up. You're going to take your hands down to the mat on the inside of your front leg. Lift your back heel up. So wiggle that right foot farther out to the right. Right hand on the inside of the right leg. So you have an option here. We have been doing these, I call them hip push-ups, that look like this, where you bend the elbows and then straighten. We're going to do 3. You can do those and stay with those. I'll turn here and then you can see better. Or you can lower your left elbow down, right hand down, left hand down. So 2 options there. We're going to do 3 rounds. So take a breath in. I'll do the hand walking if you want to do that with me.
As you exhale, bring your left elbow down, right hand down, left hand down. 2 more. Left elbow, right hand, left hand. Left elbow, right hand, left hand. Good. We did that. From here, straighten that right leg, and we're going to take a roundhouse kick. So think about pushing into your hands, pulling up into your belly, keeping that right leg straight as you take it out to the side and backing up behind you, one leg dog. Bend your knee, twist open here again. If you want to flip over to flip dog or rock star, whatever you want to call this pose, open up across the chest. It's an arm balance, it's a back bend. Inhale, come back around to one leg dog. You have an option for a one leg vinyasa here, or 2 leg, of course, child's pose. This is where you tune in, listen. We're working on that intuition. What's right for you? Okay, second side, from downward dog. Inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open. Inhale, stretch your leg back, square your hips up. Use your core, bring your knee in towards your nose, and then plant your foot up at the top of your mat. All right, we're going to come up to warrior 2 here. Back heel down onto the ground, and then rise up to warrior 2. As you inhale, straighten your front knee. As you exhale, reach forward for triangle pose, and then left fingers to the floor or your prop. At first, right finger straight up into the sky. Hug your shoulder blades onto your back. And then we'll bring the right bicep right by the right ear, palm facing down, reaching that arm out, getting a lot of length into the right side body. Take a breath in here. Use your exhale to lift you up, both arms up overhead here. Now your right hand will grab your left wrist and stretch the left arm up for a reverse triangle variation. Reach back behind you. Inhale, come up, release the wrist. Take your hands down to the inside of your front leg. Work that left foot farther out to the left. So again, you can do 3 of those hip push-ups here, or do the walking of the hands. I'll do that and count it out for you. Take a breath in. As you exhale, right elbow down, left hand, right hand. Right elbow, left hand, right hand. One more, right elbow, left hand, right hand. Start to work the front leg straight. And then again, we'll try to use some core strength, some leg strength to take the leg around in a big semicircle, lifting the leg off the ground, sweeping it out to the side and backing up behind you. Bend your knee, twist open. Stay with the twist, or once you use that inner compass, is it time for you to flip over on the side? It's not what you should do and what you ought to do, but what you know is right for you. There you go. Inhale, come back around, one leg dog, one leg vinyasa. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. Fold over your legs. And one more chair pose for the practice. Take your hips down, sweep the arms forward and up. Try to take the arms back behind your head a little bit. It's tough to do in this position. And then push into the feet, stand up, standing back bend. Arms can go back more freely now as you lift the chest up. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So those of you who can come into Malasana, which is with the feet outer hip width distance apart, a squat, you'll go there. That's not going to work for all of us, and that's when you really need to say, I know. I don't really have to sharpen that tool. I know ankles and knees aren't going to do that. Then you're going to stay standing up if the squatting down doesn't work for you. If you're squatting, you're going to have your arms on the insides of your legs. You're going to take your right hand out to the right. So that right arm is on the inside of the right knee or thigh. And then take the left arm out to the left. If you're standing, hold on, I'm going to come to you in a second. You can stay right here or bend the elbows, clasp the hands together as we've done before. Try to get the hands or the arms behind your head. Press your head back as you twist and open. If you're standing, you're going to stay standing. Take the arms up, hook the fingers together over your head. Take your arms back a little bit and then dip that right elbow towards the ground. Try to point the left elbow up and take it back a little bit. And then everybody inhale and release. Crow pose. So if you're standing, you're going to come into a forward bend. If you're already down into malasana, you're already set up for your crow. Hands down at the front of your mat. Lift your heels up, squeeze your knees onto your arms, lean forward, look forward out in front of you. Lift one foot, maybe lift both feet, hovering in your crow, using that core to help lift your hips a little bit. First option is to lower the feet down and step back to downward dog. Second option, shoot the feet back to chaturanga and keep flowing from there. Take your vinyasa here as it feels right for you. Lunge your right foot to the front of your mat. Put your weight into your left hand. We're going to turn all the toes to the right. So the front toes turn to the right. On the back foot, you're on the outer edge of the back foot. Stretch your right hand back behind you. Try to pull both shoulders back. And then dip the outer left hip down towards the floor. That's all we're doing here. Just trying to get a little bit of hip opening. On your inhale, circle around towards the front of your mat and keep circling around to the left. You're going to go through wide leg standing forward bend and then take a side lunge into your left knee and hold that side lunge. Inhale, straighten the left leg and hold standing, wide leg standing forward bend. Okay, start to walk your hands back to the front of your mat, coming into lunge. We'll take a lizard pose here. So we'll lower the back knee to the ground, pat that knee with the double layer of your mat or your shirt, a blanket, whatever you've got nearby. Right arm is on the inside of the right leg. Let's walk the hands over to the left a little bit so the center line of your torso makes a diagonal with the left side of your mat. Bend the elbows to get close to the ground, or bring your elbows, one or both, down to the ground. We'll take a couple of breaths here in the lizard pose. Start to walk your hands back in. Bring your right arm to the outside of your right leg. We'll take half Hanuman's pose or half splits. So shift your hips back as you straighten your front leg. The back of the right heel is on the ground. We're only doing this once, so those of you who like the full splits, you got to go for it here. The rest of us will stay in half splits, maybe folding over the leg. It's really important in some of these deeper poses where we're really stretching the muscles to their limits that you listen, that you hone that tool of inner knowing. You find your direction, you know how far to go in this pose. And then let's start to release the pose. Lift your chest up, flatten the right foot onto the floor, bend the right knee over the ankle, lift the back knee up, one leg dog, take that right leg back and up, one leg flow, opportunity here, or two leg, you know the score. From downward dog, bring your feet forward to the top of your mat, and then inhale, rise up to stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment here before we take this last flow on the second side, just to let everything connect at your heart. All right, here we go. Either come into Malasana, widen the feet out, or stay standing. If you're in Malasana, you've got the left arm on the inside of the left leg. You'll take that left hand out to the left. Right arm sweeps out to the right. You can stay here or bend the elbows, hook the hands together, maybe take the arms back behind the head. You might have to bring the head forward and press the head back into the arms. See if you can twist, taking that right elbow up towards the ceiling. If you're standing, you're doing this just with straight legs. And then inhale, release, hands down to the mat, crow pose. Place your hands, work the inner knees up high on the arms, then the elbows, lean forward, look forward, lift your feet up, maybe get a little air under one foot or both, and either jump into chaturanga or lower your feet down, step them to the back of your mat. Last full flow opportunity here. From downward dog, lunge your left foot to the top of your mat. Put weight into your right hand and then turn all your toes around to the left. You're on the outer edge of the back foot. Stretch that left hand back behind you. And then see if you can get the outer right thigh, maybe hip down to the ground. Hip opening plus stretching through the right side body. As you inhale, sweep around towards the front of your mat. Pivot around on your feet. Keep walking your hands along the right side of your mat. Take a side lunge into your right knee. It's going to be high or low in the side lunge. A couple of breaths here. Good, and then straighten that knee. Wide leg standing forward bend. This time, you can stay in the forward bend, but take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Lift the tops of your shoulders away from the floor, and then bring your hands away from your back. Lower your hands to your low back and then unlace the fingers, hands down to the floor. Walk your hands around to the front of your mat. So you've got your left arm on the inside of your left leg. Lower your right knee to the ground for lizard pose. Walk your hands over to the right. And then either bend the elbows and lower here, or maybe one or both forearms. Reach the floor. Taking a few breaths here, hip opening, inner thigh opening. It's a teeny bit of a twist. Start to walk your hands back in. Take your left arm on the outside of the left leg for half splits. Straighten the front leg. Back of the heel presses into the floor. Ball of the left foot presses forward. Keep a tiny bend into that left knee. Reach your heart forward. This might be plenty. This is the time when you consult your inner compass. And if you want to go a little farther down that road, you bend your elbows, fold over your leg or fold towards it. And then let's start to lift out of the pose. Plant your left foot, left knee comes forward over the ankle. Lift your back knee off the mat. One leg dog, left leg lifts back and up behind you. One leg flow. From downward dog, bring yourself to a seat. So you can maybe jump through to a seat or jump through to a seat with bent knees, or just, get on down to a seat with your legs stretched out in front of you. All right, make sure your strap or the prop that works as a strap is nearby just in case you need it as we move into a couple of seated poses here, preparing for our compass pose. We're not there yet, we've got a couple of other things to do. Bend your right knee, take your hand on the outside of your right foot, and then lift the foot off the ground. So your right shin is parallel to the ground. You're going to start to pull that right knee back under your armpit. This pose is called Akarna Dhanurasana. Akarna means near the ear. It's your right foot that's supposed to be near the right ear. Dhanurasana is bow pose. So near the ear, bow pulling pose. So you can imagine bow and arrow here. All right, put the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left leg. There you go. We're going to take a revolved knee to head pose. So take your left arm on the inside of your left leg. And you're going to swing that right arm overhead. So let's just stop the right arm overhead, even if you can reach it farther, and press your left arm into the inner left leg, and let's bend the right elbow and push back. So you're really trying to get a twist here as you rotate around. You're leaning out over your left leg, but also twisting around to the right. Use your inhale to release the pose and come up, and then straighten out your right leg. Shake out that right knee a couple of times. And now second side, Akarna Dhanurasana, near the ear bow pulling pose. Bend your left knee, left hand grabs the outer edge of your left foot, and then lift the foot up until your shin's parallel to the ground. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, work that knee back past your armpit, working your left foot to your left ear. And then sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Revolve to Janu Shavasana. Right arm on the inside of the right leg. Swing that left arm back behind you and stop it right up at 12 o'clock. Press your arms back, especially that right arm into the right leg. You can bend that left elbow at about a 45-degree angle, and then rotate around. So you're leaning over to the side in a forward bend, but also twisting around to the left. Use your inhale to come on out, and then straighten out your left leg, bounce out your knee a couple of times. Okay, we are ready for sundial or compass pose. There's a lot happening in this pose. It's a big hip opener, big shoulder opener, it's a twist, it's a huge hamstring opener. So because there's so much going on, you really need to think about and listen to that inner knowing, what's right for you. So in this version of the pose, we're just going to bend the left knee and keep the left leg here. It won't move again. Now bend the right knee, reach down with your right hand, grab the outer edge of your foot. Lift the foot up and then pull the knee back under your armpit if you can, or back in that general direction, back behind you. Left palm grabs the sole of your foot. Right arm comes on the inside of your leg, and then see if you can get your arm up high on, get your leg high on your arm or on your shoulder here even. So here's where you might want the strap to hold on, lasso around your foot. Take your left palm to the top of your foot, and those left fingers wrap around the outer edge of your foot. We're almost ready. If you're using the strap, you hold the strap in your left hand and you lasso the arch of the foot. Take your right hand out to the right. Take a breath in here, and as you exhale, you're gonna press your right leg straight-ish, not straight forward, but it's gonna go out to the side at about a 45-degree angle. So think about working that leg and then pulling that left arm back behind your head. You might need to bring your head forward, and then once your head is forward, press your head back into your arm. You're twisting. Listen to yourself about how straight you need to get the leg, how far you need to move the left arm. Hold the pose as you exhale, and then as you inhale, bend the knee, release. Compass pose or sundial pose. Second side. All right. We're just gonna bend that right knee and it's gonna stay right there. Right knee points out to the side. Bend your left knee so your left foot is on the ground. Left kneecap points up into the air. Left hand grabs the outer edge of your foot. Lift up and then pull your knee back behind you somewhere in that general direction. This is just like near the ear bow pulling pose, almost just like it. Right palm comes to the sole of the left foot. Right arm, left arm stays under on the inside of your leg. Reach it under, work your leg up high onto your arm or your shoulder, and then change the grip with your right hand. Right palm comes to the top of your foot, and right fingers wrap around the outer edge. You can also use the strap here. There are no shoulds, there are no oughts, just what's right for you. Take your left hand out to the left. It doesn't matter if the elbow is bent or straight. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're gonna try to sit up a little taller as you reach the heel out to the side at about a 45-degree angle. Pull your right arm back behind your head. Maybe press your head into your arm, twisting. Take one more exhale here, holding the pose, and then as you inhale, bend your knee and release. That's your compass in the physical sense. We also have the one inside. Let's come on to our backs. That required a lot of forward bending, and let's open that up with 2 back bends here. Come on to your back. We'll take a bridge pose. Feet press into the earth. Remember the bridge pose you did early in the practice. And see if it's right for you to open this one up a little bit more. Push into your feet, lift your hips up, interlace your hands, walk your shoulders under, squeeze those shoulder blades onto the back, push into the floor through your heels, a little bit of squeeze into the glutes, open up the front of the body. And then exhale, lower down, unlace the hands, walk the shoulders out. I know I said 2 back bends, but we're getting close on time. I want you to have a little bit of recovery and a decent Shavasana. So just 1 back bend. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock over your back. And we'll take a twist to each side. To keep the knees drawn in, take your arms out to a T. Knees right over your hips. As you exhale, take the knees over to the right.
If you have been ujjayi breathing this whole time, release that pranayama and just come back to your natural breath. You don't need to count it. Just let it course in and course out. Inhale, bring your knees back up, and we'll take them over to the left. Letting the legs be heavy, and letting that right arm and shoulder be heavy. Inhale, bring your knees back up. One more time, squeeze the knees in. And then take the knees around in little circles, one direction. And circle your knees in the other direction. Stretch your legs out. We'll return to Shavasana here. If your playlist hasn't taken you to your Shavasana song, fast forward. As you find the corpse pose, bring your awareness to your back body. So back of the head, back of the neck, upper back, mid back, low back, backs of the legs. Big inhale through your nose, and then exhale fully to let the whole back body settle. Let your front body float on the breath. Use these few moments of rest as a tool for connecting mind, body, and heart, for clearing away anything that clouds your inner compass, your inner knowing. Take in a deeper inhale now, and a long, slow exhale. Start to reawaken your body gently. Wave your fingers and toes, stretch your arms overhead. Grow your body long. Once again, big full stretch here. And then on an exhale, roll to your side. And take a moment here to honor yourself for sharpening the tool of intuition, that compass that always tells you which direction to turn and how far to go. On another exhale, gently bring yourself up to a seat. And once you're seated, close your eyes and join your hands in Anjali Mudra. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, everybody.